Hello, everybody. Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas. Glad you're here. I always have to adjust my top, don't I? It's okay. It just looks different when I look at myself on camera. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. When you pop on, let me know you're here. Say hi. I love to know that I have a community watching me out there. I'm going to start today. We are on day 2 of our Jar of Joy craft along, and you guys loved the cards we did yesterday. I have 2 more cards for you today. One is a fun fold, and then one, well, I guess kind of they're both a fun fold. And then my last card is going to be for you tomorrow. So if you're crafting along with me, if you got your craft along kit ahead of time, I'm doing cards number 3 and 4 today on the video for you. So I know you're making 2. I will just be making 1, and you can always watch the replay and start and stop the video as you need as I'm going along, okay? Let me talk about a few announcements. First of all, you guys know I've been talking about this all month. We have our in color product sale going on right now. Our 2025 to 2027 colors that just came out this year: Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger. Anything that has any of those colors in it will be discounted 15%. So it's just not inks and ribbon and the 6x6 paper. It's kits, it's DSP, it's anything we have in our store that has any of these colors in it. The reinkers. So think about checking that out before that sale ends, which will be on Sunday. And then we have some changes coming up, you guys. I think they're all positive. Some people are being negative about it, but I think they're all positive. They are getting rid of red rubber ink. And the reason why, red rubber stamps, and the reason why is it's become increasingly harder and harder with the supply chain to get the products we need to make those. And that's why there have been some extended delays in the manufacturing and the inventory of our red rubber. So they've decided to go to all photopolymer. I am happy about this because I really struggle with red rubber getting them straight sometimes. I love being able to see through my stamps. So to me, that is a positive. New packaging. Our stamps are now going to come in packages like the one seen in the middle picture here, similar to what our dies have come in, but they will be slightly bigger. There will be pictures on the front and back. I would not store mine on the side like this. I plan on storing them in boxes, and I'll show you the ones that I got from Home Goods here. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for jumping in. And in alphabetical order. So it will not be hard for me to find the stamp set that I'm looking for, okay? So I have these awesome, you can see them behind me here, storage shelves on my wall, and that's going to have to change, right? And it's okay. Change can be good. I'm actually excited that I can put other things on my wall and use my shelving unit behind me to store my stamps as well. So, and the last thing that's happening is Stampin' Right markers are being phased out. They are all in the last chance part of the store right now, and as soon as they are sold out, they will be gone. The sales for markers have increasingly diminished since the blends have been introduced. Hi, Jan. Thanks for joining me. And Sharon, I don't know if I said hi to you. So they're going to focus on the blends. I have to be perfectly honest. I very rarely use markers. I used a green a few weeks ago because they didn't have a garden green in blends. So hopefully they will fill those gaps with the blends. But personally, I hardly ever use markers. I buy them, so I have them as a demonstrator, but I think it's all going to be okay. All right. So if you have any questions about any of those changes, how I'm going to do things differently, just let me know, and I'll chat with you about that. Okay, I have a charming day suite Saturday, September 6th, easy peasy class, super simple. This is just 4 cards. $30 includes envelopes and a PDF. You can get it in the mail, or you can come to my house on Saturday, September 6th, and I will make them with you here. These are beautiful cards, super simple cards. Some of my customers have asked, all your classes seem like really big and huge. We could use just a simple card class every once in a while. So I'm trying to fill that gap. So if you're interested in a Charming Day simple card class, I will put the link to that up in the description as well. You guys know that my next craft along is the Traditions of Christmas. These cards are going to be gorgeous. This is a mega suite, and we are doing 2 each of 5 cards for our craft along in September. Again, the link to that will be up in the description. If you would like early bird pricing, if you would like discounted pricing, you will need to register for this class by this Sunday, okay? So, and then after that, the price goes up by $5. I'm just trying to encourage people, if they really want to come, let's get those registrations in, because placing orders at the last minute can get costly on my end, okay? So let me get rid of all of these banners here. I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of that and that. There we go. Last thing. We are getting close to the best time to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Traditionally, September, October, November are all about the upcoming holidays and a great time to get your Paper Pumpkin kit. I have to say, though, too, we have some great kits coming out this fall as well. But Paper Pumpkin is fun because it's a little bit of a surprise, and you can get a little bit of a discount if you buy it in a 3-month stack. So I will put the link to that Paper Pumpkin subscription in my description after this video is over. All right, so who's ready to tuttle up and get started stamping? I hope you are. I am going to move the camera to my hands. First thing I want to do is show you what the Craft Alongers got as part of their package. They got a 6x6 package of the Nests of Winter, and we are primarily using the back sides of these papers. I showed them to you yesterday, and that is super fun. They got a whole package of the peppermint embellishments, a full brand new double roll of the gold and silver trim. And by the way, this is on the last chance list right now too. It wasn't when we put it in this class, but it just went on the last chance list. So you can actually get this ribbon at a bargain. This class makes 10 cards, 2 each of 5 designs, and that's what I'm crafting along with you. If you wish you had gotten a kit and you didn't, thank you, Sharon. I just got it yesterday, so I kind of like it as well. Thank you. You can still get this kit. I will put a link to the registration in the description after this video is over as well. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you the 2 cards that we made yesterday. This was one of them, our little snowman on the snow hill. May your heart be filled with joy. And then inside it says, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. That was one of our cards. The other card was this little gingerbread card. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas is on there as well. And it was just a little more plain on the inside, but something done in there, right? So those are our 2 cards from yesterday. And keep in mind, if you have the kit or if you're going to get the kit, you will get everything to make 2 each of these cards, okay? Now, today's cards are super fun. And the first one, gosh, I don't know where to put things here on my desk. Let me move some things around. There we go. All right, the first one I call a flap fold card. I don't know what the official name of it is, but this is the card that we're making today. So this flap folds down, this pops up, and then it folds back into the inside of the card, okay? So this is our card for today. Now, before I start that, I wanted to show you it is the same design as we made for our tractor class a couple weeks ago. This one just flips horizontally like that. This one flipped vertically like this, and then it made it look like the tractor was pulling that trailer through the cornfield with a cute little bird on there. Same design. One of them is just vertical, and then this one is just set horizontal. So I just wanted to show you can do different things with the same type of fold. Okay, so here's our first card that we're making today. Cute little ornament card. Let me pull out my pieces here. This one is super easy. So we have a card base that is 7.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 3.25 and it's 7.5. So the 7.5 is what creates that little flip fold right here on the edge. Okay, so our card's going to sit like this, but then it's going to flip and open like that. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put this off to the side here so I can just stare at it. The first thing is I have this fun piece of DSP from that Birds of Winter suite, and I'm going to grab my bone folder and press it down. Is anybody else getting in the mood for fall? Now, fall is not near as much fun in Midland, Texas as it was in Lincoln, Nebraska. I used to love the colors, the trees changing color and all of that. We don't get that quite as much here in Midland, but I still like a little cooler weather, but not cold. All right, so this is the DSP panel that's going to go on the top, and I'm going to grab my stamp that says sending you a jar full of cheer. Sending you a jar full of cheer. Okay, I'm going to grab my black, my Memento black, and I am going to stamp this. Line that up straight so I know if my sentiment is straight. Okay, and I'm going to stamp that kind of up here, a little more towards the top. There we go. Sending you a jar full of cheer. Important to do that before you glue it down onto your card, right? So this is going to get adhered right here on the top portion of my card. And I think I will use seal because it had plenty of room to get it straight and even. So I don't think I need a lot of wiggle room. Now that scares me now that I said that out loud because I just want to get it on here straight. There we go. That was easy peasy, right? All right, and then this is that birchwood panel, and it is cut 3/4 of an inch wide by 5.25 long. And I'm going to put this down here on my bottom flap, right like that. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is the inside of my card. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. I'm going to use basic Memento black again. And this time I am stamping the words, may your heart be filled with joy. I'm going to put that right up here. May your heart be filled with joy. And then I'm going to grab the bow. Now, on my original card, I put the bow in black right here in the corner, but then I thought I really kind of wished I'd done it in red. So I'm going to grab my real red. I'm going to grab the bow, and we're going to stamp the bow right there. How cute is that? Okay, so this is going to go right here on the inside of our card base, okay? Okay, right there. Super cute. Okay, now all I have to do is my little ornament jar on the outside. So I have a piece of white that I cut using the Spotlight on Nature dies. I really love the radiating stitches around here. And this one is 2 3/4 in diameter. And then I cut some of that snow DSP out of the 2 3-inch punch, okay? 2 3-inch circle punch. Circle punches are a must for any crafter, right? And we need all the sizes. So this one is a pretty new size that Stampin' Up! Came out with, and I love it because it fits exactly in that circle. Okay, next I have a piece of white. Let's see if I can get my jar stamped in this area right here. You know what? It's going to be close. Let's see this way. I'm just going to get another piece of scrap white. How about that? Here we go. Okay, I have all my little scrap whites up here in an envelope right next to my desk so that I have them handy. So my black, I'm going to stamp the jar in black, and I'm going to stamp my ornaments in black as well. There we go. There's my jar. Let me grab my ornaments. And they are going to be hanging from the top of the jar right here. There we go. I'm going to color my ornaments, and I have some Pool Party, Real Red, and Daffodil Delight. So, my Real Red, and I'm using the light Real Red, is what I'm going to do for the center of this one. And these little hearts that are right here on this ornament. There we go. Get them good and colored in there. Okay. Then my Pool Party is going to be radiating around this red right here in the center of that ornament. And where else do I have Pool Party? Right here on this ornament. Okay, and then my Daffodil Delight is going to be light all over this star ornament. And then I'm going to go back in. I missed a little spot right there. Go back in with my dark. Use that bullet tip and just outline this outside part with the darker. There we go. Grab my punch. Line it up and punch it out. There we go. Now I also have a piece of silver that I'm going to use to punch the top of my jar from, just like I did yesterday. There we go. So I have an in-person Jar of Joy class this week on Thursday night. I have 9 ladies coming in person. That's pretty fun. So I'm going to hold it up at our church where we have just a little more room. And I just bought this cool camera that I can show my hands on camera, kind of like I'm doing right now. but it will project it onto a large screen TV. So everyone in the room will be able to see easily what I'm doing. So I'm excited about that. It'll be my first time using it with a really large group. So that'll be fun. I'm going to grab some dimensionals here. Put a few on the bottom of this jar. Well, bottom and top. On the back side is what I meant to say. And then I'm going to tie a silver bow. Put it on top. Tie me a single bow just like I did yesterday. Loop around, pull. Fiddle with it a little bit here so that the loops are going the way I want. There we go. And I'm going to use a glue dot to attach this to the top of my jar. Okay, there we go. So cute, right? Now, here's the important part of this whole thing. This jar, I don't know what just happened there. I must have had some glue on my grid paper. This jar is going to go right here, but we only want to attach it to this bottom strip right here. We want to be able to flip it and open it like that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dimensionals just on the back side of this at the bottom, very close together, like that, enough to really give it a good adhesion, but not to impede it from being able to flip open like we want it to, okay? So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to make sure that my dimensionals are not, oh, I've got plenty of room, okay? Just need to get it on there straight. There we go, right like that, okay? So there we go. There's our flip fold card. How fun is that? Now, I'm just going to scatter some peppermints on the front here, and we used a few more for this one than we have on the other ones. Now, where did I just put my peppermints? Right here. I'm gonna grab some big ones and some little ones, some medium-sized ones. So this is gonna go right here. Just kind of scatter them around. I used 5 of them on this card. I wanted one on my jar, next to my jar right here, maybe right there. And I wanted a little one down here because I wanted some of my peppermints to show on the inside, right? And then I'm going to put another one right up where? Let's see, maybe up here like that. There we go. So there is card number 1. Sending a jar full of cheer. May your heart be filled with joy. So I hope you guys like that one. That is card number 3. Now to the big kahuna of all the cards we're making this class. I'm going to put my blends back in here, kind of get some things back in order. Before we get started on this fun card. It's not really hard. It is a little, there's a lot to it, right? Because there's 3 jars. So here is our next card. and it opens up like this, and there's a little snowman jar hiding behind the ornament card. So this is our card. It is a Z-fold, kind of an alternative to our traditional Z-fold card. Okay, so let's get started on this one. I have a piece of garden green. Thank you, Sherry. You're always so sweet. I have a piece of garden green that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And it's going to Z-fold like this. And I'm going to really burnish those fold lines. I'm going to get all my panels on here. So I have a piece of real red that is, one looks a little wider than the other one. So this is 2 3/4. So I wanted it just a little less than 2 3/4. And it looks like I need to shave a little bit off the top of this one. So I want it 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. So I need 4 1/8 right there. There we go. Let me make sure I have it where I want it here. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so that's going to go right here. It's going to be a very tight fit. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. Let me double check my length here on this one. I think I need to shave a little bit off right there. 4 1/8. And let me see, this should be 2 5/8, and that looks right. Okay, so these, I'm going to use liquid glue on these red panels because I want to make sure I have a little wiggle room so I can get them really straight since there's just such a small border on them. Okay, there we go. There's one of them. I think this card is adorable. I think anybody that gets it in the mail would be amazed at your skills, right? Let's face it, we want them to love them. My friend Becky used to laugh at me because when people would open cards and they would just look at it, I'd go, now wait a minute, you really need to look at this card because it's pretty awesome. Okay, so then I have a piece of this snow paper, and it is cut 4 by 5 1/4, so it's going to go right here on this side of the panel. Do you guys do that? You really need to look at this. Did you make it? Oh, I did. I made it. You are amazing. Thank you. That's the whole scenario that goes on in my head when somebody opens one of my cards. Does that make me narcissistic? I don't know. I just am really proud of my cards that I make. Okay, so there we go. I'm talking too much today. Sorry about that. All right, and then my green stripe is going to go inside each of these reds, and they are 2 1/2 by 4. Okay, 2 1/2 by 4 for each of those panels. Now, you know you can buy the PDF from me. If you go to that link for the Jar of Joy, I have the PDF available for purchase. If you just want the PDF, you can also buy the entire kit to go still, even though you missed the craft along part of it. The videos will be on YouTube forever. So if you want to get a kit, plus you have the paper instructions as well with lots of beautiful pictures. So there are lots of ways to follow this class, right? Okay, so this one's going to go right here. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so now I have this little mechanism. It is 1 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. But this one is going to fold this way, the opposite Z-fold direction, okay? So we want the 2 3/4 panels to be on the right side of this one. And what we're going to do is we have 2 pieces of this birch tree DSP. One of them is going to go on this front panel in just a second. And one of them is actually going to go here, and then we're just going to fold it into that score line that we just created. Okay, so I'm going to add some Seal Plus to this. Okay, it's going to go right here. And then I'm going to turn it upside down, and that score line, I'm going to just fold it into that score line like that and score it with my bone folder really well, like that. So there's that side. This side, there's something I need to do first. And before I put it down, I'm going to grab my gold ribbon, my gold trim. Let me re-roll it here. It kind of came unrolled. And I'm going to cut 2 pieces here that are the length of this and a little bit more. Okay. You guys are kind of quiet out there today. Are you just really watching what I'm doing? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here. I'm going to flip it over. Actually, I want to lay both of them kind of on the back side of this here. We can do the second one here in a second. Okay, I'm going to add some Seal Plus right to this edge right here on both sides, and I'm going to fold that trim to the inside right there. This is easier than trying to wrap it around twice, and get 2 wraps around a piece of DSP can be kind of a hard thing. So we're just going to wrap it like this. Okay, right like that. And then this whole thing is going to get adhered to that front green lever there. Okay, so it's going to go down like that. Okay, then I have those ribbons on there. I'm not pulling my DSP, right? Okay, so then this is going to get attached to our card front right here, right like this. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is the back side of this panel here. So I'm folding this in. I'm going to put some seal right here. Okay, Seal Plus. You could use tear and tape. You could use liquid glue. You just want something really strong. And I'm just going to press that in right against that edge on the right. Right like that. Okay, and then see how it fits right in there, right next to this folded sign right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to put Seal Plus and a little bit right on this end right here and flip that over. And that's going to create that fun fold. Now, I just realized I missed a step, but it's going to be fine. This piece of white needs to go right into here. And I probably should have done that first, but it's still going to work. Okay, so I've got this piece of white that is 2.5 by 4, and I'm going to stamp at the top of it, wishing you the sweetest Christmas in real red. So next week, our plan is to do a new catalog showcase. So every day next week, we're going to come on and show you something new from the holiday catalog that goes live to all of you who are not demonstrators next week, okay, on Tuesday. Okay, so I'm going to take this panel. Should have done this first. You're going to put it right in here. Look, it fits right in there, so we are perfect. There we go. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Okay, now, time for our jars. Okay, and we need a sentiment as well, but we're going to get to all that. I have a piece of white, basic white. Let me grab a piece here. Basic white paper. And for those of you who got the kit to go, I put a half a sheet of this basic white in your kit so that you would have plenty of basic white paper. I think that's always important, right? So let me cut mine down a little bit because you're doing 6 jars for this and I'm only doing 3. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit for myself. But this was included in your kit, a half a page. Probably more than you needed. Okay, so I've got my basic white here and I am going to stamp it 3 times in Memento Black. One, 2, 3. Now, see, I still have plenty of room to do 3 more on the other side if I needed to. So I definitely gave you guys plenty of paper. Okay. Now, inside this first one, I'm going to stamp my gingerbread men in pecan pie. I'm going to stamp the inside detail in Pool Party. Again, I just try to line up my gingerbread man's bow tie and buttons. There we go. And then the rest should kind of line up automatically. All right, and then I'm going to grab my real red, and these little hearts that are in these cookies, I'm just going to do in red. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so that's my first jar. My second jar is going to be those ornaments one more time, and I'm actually going to color them exactly the same way as I did the last time. Cute. And so I've got red for the inside of this ornament and my hearts here. Those little dots on either side of the hearts are kind of hard to grab, but we're going to get them. There we go. Pool Party for the inside of this ornament and the outside of this ornament. And then Daffodil Delight, light and dark. Start with the light. So we're using all 3 of the jar fillers for this card. I think that's super cute. Then the outside edge. Cute. All right, that's all there is for that one. And then, last but not least, our adorable little snowman. Can't forget him. He's going to go in this last jar. Make sure he's got a cute red scarf on. There we go, my red. line up the bar on his hat, and then everything else should line up pretty well. There we go. And on this one, for this time, on our snowman, we are going to color the snow below him in Pool Party. There we go. We're going to sprinkle on some snow in Pool Party. These are really fun to play with. They really are. A little space for his arm there. Well, that was kind of blotchy, but we're going to go with it. It's a little more blotchy on one side there. I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm just going to let it be. I'll fix it later. Okay, I just pushed too hard on my snow right there. All right, now, what am I doing? I am going to punch each of these guys out. Maybe that's what you guys are asking yourself. What is she doing? It's coming. It's coming. It's all going to come together. I'm going to grab my jar punch and punch out my snowman and my ornament jar and my gingerbread jar. And then 3 lids in gold. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm going to grab my glue here, and maybe I should be smart about this and see if I can find my well, it's not coming to. I was hoping to find my silicone mat right there, but it's okay. We'll just go with it the way it is. All right, so I'm going to take, I don't know where everyone's today. It's quiet, isn't it, Sherry? Not much chatting going on, but it's okay. Sometimes people come on during the replay and they're like, well, I'm watching the replay, which is nice when that happens. Okay, so my gold lid on my snowman right there is going to go right there. I have a gold lid for each one of them. Here's my gingerbread man. And here is my I'm glad you're here with me, Sherry. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my snowman on here first. He's going to go right here, and I can't remember if I popped him up or put him flat. It looks like I put him, no, it looks like I popped him up. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back here. I will be back here tomorrow at noon as well for our final card of the series. So my snowman's going to go right there. And then when I fold this over, I want to make sure that my ornament one will go right on top of my snowman. So it looks kind of hidden until we open it up, okay? So I'm going to put dimensionals on just the bottom here of this one because I don't want it to glue to my snowman, right? So I'm just going to put a few like that. That's all that matters, Sherry, is that you're here with me. Hi, Barb. Thanks for coming. This is actually the live, Barb, but you're going to want to watch the replay because these cards are so cute. Okay, so there. So it opens like this. So the snowman is kind of a surprise when you open it up. And then my gingerbread man is going to go over here on this side. And I can put dimensionals wherever I want on this one. And yesterday I did 2 Jar of Joy cards, and then today are 2 more, and then tomorrow is the last of our series. And it is a beautiful card. Lots of layers and fun things to it. So, okay, so this is going to go right here. I'm going to grab that gold ribbon now that I have my jars on there, and I'm going to tie a bow between these 2 jars. Right here, I'm going to slide it under and tie a bow right here. Barb, I've missed you. Are you doing okay? Will you be going to Long Beach this year to convention? That's where I met Barb last year. Well, Barb's actually been a part of my life through Facebook Lives for a long time, but we got to meet when we went to convention last year, which was fun. It's okay, Barb. Thanks for watching me. That's what matters. You don't have to be chatty. Some of us are more chatty than others, right, Sherry? Okay, so there we go. There's my little bow on the inside. So I'm almost done. All I need to do is add my sentiment at the top here. And what I'm going to do is I have a strip here. And all I want it to say is sending and cheer. Well, of course, this whole stamp has sending on one end and cheer on the way other end. So what we're going to do, let me grab my chamois here so I can clean this one off from the black that we used before. Definitely don't want any black on this. Okay, so because this is photopolymer, and this is what I'm saying, you guys, what I love about photopolymer, it would be really hard to do this with a red rubber stamp, is on the sending side, I only want to ink up the word sending, but I can see through my stamp. So I'm only going to ink up sending, and I'm going to stamp it. Oh, I did the wrong color. Oh, you know what? Why does it matter? Sending is going to be in red. I'm going to do them both in red. Okay, so there we go. There's sending. I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to flip this over, and cheer is going to go on the other side, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking through my photopolymer, and I'm only inking up the word cheer. And it's going to go on this end, except that I see that I've got a little bit on the word next to it. So I'm going to clean that off and try that over again. All right, let's try that one more time. I'm glad I didn't stamp it down. We could have made it work regardless, but here we go. Cheer is all I want on that stamp. And it is going to go a little closer to the right. There we go. Then to the left. Like that. Okay? That's what I wanted to do. All right. I'm going to cut this off a little short. And on the cheer one, I am going to banner cut this end. Okay? This way. So on the C side of cheer, we're going to banner cut it. Whoop. There we go. And then on sending, on this side, we're going to cut it. Now on my original card, I did sending in black and cheer in red, but who knows? Maybe we'll like it better this way, right? Okay, so here we go. Let me get all these pieces out of the way. Sending is going to go right up. I think I do like it in red. I'm just saying. Sending is going to go in this upper right part right here. And cheer is going to go down here at the bottom. Oh, it wasn't you. Who am I thinking of then that I met at convention that was one of my, bummer, Barb. I'm so sorry. Um, hmm. Now I'm confused. Sorry about that. But I'm sure I would be delighted to meet you anytime we met. I'm sure I would. You've always been such a sweet person to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add some of these peppermints on here. Small one right here. And another one here. And another one here. So I'm putting 4 right there, and then one of them over here on this side by our other jar. And we are done. How cute is that? No, I did meet you too, Sharon, at convention. I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know. That's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I did get to meet Sharon too at convention. And are you going to Long Beach, Sharon? I hope so. Okay, so our next convention is in Long Beach, California. So here is my card. What do you guys think of that one? Is that not adorable? I love how she used, Monica designed this one, and I love how she used all 3 of those jar inserts. Thank you, Barb. You're so sweet. Okay, so here was our 4th card in the series. Here was our 3rd card with the ornaments. This was that flip fold card like that. Here is the gingerbread man that we did yesterday. And here is the snowman card that we made yesterday as well. We have one more to go tomorrow. So, I'm sorry, Sharon. That makes me sad. Okay, so here's the 4 so far. We have one more coming tomorrow. You can still get this kit to go if you would like it. I'll make sure I put the registration link up in the description. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. Let me come back to my face here. So thank you so much for joining me. You guys are all so sweet. You're always so encouraging. And join me tomorrow at noon for my final card of the Jar of Joy card class for this week. So, and I have all the other links that I talked about at the beginning will be in the description. And you know you can always shop with me at TuttleUpShop.com. So God bless, and I will see you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.